Hey everybody, good afternoon and God bless you. Thank you all, first of all, for all your support and getting practitioners to come out to the education that we're providing next week, Tuesday, thanks to Standard Process. It is a completely sold out event, so much so that our team members are having to give up their seats for those who are on a waiting list. So thank you guys for that support. We're really excited to have so many practitioners that are going to be coming out and learning all the things that I think are going to be a big game changer for them going forward. That being said, there still is a waiting list, so if those of you who are interested, please get yourself on that waiting list. And if you can't make it, the following Tuesday, same time, well, a little bit earlier, at the 4-Day Weekend Theater, I'm going to be giving the 20-minute version of that for patients. And I invite all of the practitioners to be to that as well, so they can include that and get the education to the patients right away, directly, makes it easier. So we got two options, but really excited, really thankful, very grateful that we had so many people interested. We had such a great turnout. It's awesome. So that leads into the anemia question that is coming up. I'm getting a ton of people, a surprisingly amount of people with low levels of iron coming back in their blood work. Tons of people having this anemia, and they don't even realize it, and they're not sure what's going on. So you're having all these strange fatigues and symptoms that they're not really attributed to something. So I say this because I want to caution anybody before you just go out and grab an iron supplement, because that is not the first thing that I would do if I had anemia. The important thing to know, and what you will learn when you come to these talks, is that you have to have acid in your stomach to be able to get that iron out in order for your body to absorb the iron. It has to be very, very acidic. And if the stomach isn't supported first, then it doesn't matter what kind of iron you're putting in there. And a lot of times people will get constipated when they take iron. A lot of times it has to do with the low levels of stomach acid. So that's one of the biggest things we're going to be talking about at that talk. So before you run out and just grab one of those, make sure you can absorb it. Make sure that you have the right conditions for your body to be able to utilize what you're giving it. And also, another cautionary note on that is you want to balance those out. You want to make sure that you're not giving too much of one and creating an imbalance between your copper and your zinc. Copper, iron, and zinc, you really want to make sure that are giving in equal, well, not necessarily equal amounts, but in a balanced amount, so that you're not creating an imbalance in all of those. So really pay attention to that. If you have some kind of unusual things going on, lots of fatigue, this is one of the things we're looking at this week, maybe pay attention to how much iron you're getting in your diet, but also pay attention to how well your digestion is going. It's a really big question. We're going to go over that on the 28th. And finally, one really quick story, and it's one of those things that people don't really like to talk about. It's kind of uncomfortable, and that's what this person was telling me, is UTIs. There are a lot of people that struggle with these, and they go through this process where they get the antibiotic, and then a couple months later they get another one. They got to do the antibiotic, and so we all know how bad antibiotics are for us, and so we have to find other solutions. This young lady who had come to see me was having them on that occurrence, on that schedule, about once every other month for a very long time, and we just made one tiny little change, and she hasn't had one in months. So that is something that there are other ways that you can help balance your body out and make sure that that is not something you have to deal with. And a lot of times people don't think about that in terms of something that you can make a natural change and really affect that. But if you have UTIs, or you know anybody who's struggling with UTIs, send in the questions. We'll be more than happy to go into greater detail about what are some of the things that we would do to make sure that we're keeping those out. And a good probiotic can be a really big piece of that puzzle, but it has to be very specific probiotic for UTIs, and there's a whole list of things and a checklist that I would go through depending on what's going on. So two things to think about. These things that we are kind of uncomfortable talking about doesn't mean that you have to just not ask questions, and you can always send us an anonymous question, and we're very happy to go into greater detail on that so we can help you out with any of those conditions that you are struggling with and may not find a better solution in the routes that you've been going so far. Okay, not a lot today, just want to talk about that iron, want to talk about the UTIs, and remind you guys again that on 28th is going to be a great event. We're very, very excited to be partnering up with them again, and thank you again for helping make sure that we have a completely full class of healthcare practitioners on Tuesday. Very, very excited about what's going to happen then. All right guys, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday.